Hi, it's Mika. Welcome to my guitar rig rundown. I have everything over here, my pedal board, my amp board, and this is the rig that I've been using lately. For example, we did that live stream extravaganza concert, and this was exactly the setup. And also I've been recording and carrying this to band rehearsals. This is the main rig right now. Basically, my signal flow, it's simple. I go through different gain, compressor, overdrive pedals, and then it goes to the input of this amplifier. And from the amplifier, this doesn't have any effects loop, so I use the line output, no cabinet simulation or anything, straight line output, and that goes to delay, and then it goes to the virtual cabinet, 2 notes, cab M, and from there it goes to your ears, and also it splits to another output, which is stereo effects. So have a sort of dry mono effects, dry signal, and another signal that is stereo effects, mainly symphonic and some reverb and stuff. We'll get to that pretty soon. The core of my tone is really the Hughes Kettner amplifier here. I've been using Hughes Kettner amplifiers for almost 15 years, I think, and they've become really part of my voice, my guitar tone, and this is something new. I've had Triumph Mark II, huge tube amplifier with million tubes inside and heavy amplifier, and then I've had all the Tubemeisters and Grandmeister amps, small ones, but now this is a nano size amplifier, and it's only one channel. So how do I get all the overdrive and clean tones? Well, this one is really good, pedal friendly. It's a very nice platform for pedals. I have one setting that I've actually marked here with tape, so I can always check out that everything is correct. This is like the ultimate balance for my setting. Everything is very close to midnight. The gain is slightly more closer to 11 o'clock. Tone, well, slightly towards 1 o'clock. Sagging simulates the kind of effect when you have a loud tube amplifier, the kind of compression and that kind of things. And well, I have a little bit of that, 11 o'clock, and then, well, that master is just the volume. And this is a very good for getting a basic tone. Another thing that has a huge, very important role in the tone is the cabinet and the speaker and how you mic the everything. And for me, I'm not using a traditional cabinet at all currently, and I have Cab M from Two Notes, and just to demonstrate how much this actually affects the tone, this is my typical preset or setup that I have. If I try something else, you might wonder where on earth do I need all these different presets. Well, I only have 5, but most of the time I'm always using the one and same, but it's for the sake of refreshing the tonal palette in recordings and so on. If you always have the exact same tone, it's kind of gets boring for your ears. And some of these are really cool, especially with some clean one thing before we go to the pedals to create the clean and overdrive tones and various levels of gain, I'd like to say a few words about my FX500. This is a Yamaha multi-effects from 1989, vintage stuff. You might wonder why on earth would I like to have something old when I got all these new pedals and stuff on board. Well, this was for me the nicest way to get that symphonic modulation effect that I like to have. I wanted to have MIDI control, and this small rack unit was kind of easiest way to get that symphonic tone with me everywhere where I go. And the way I use this effect is it's, you know, it might add a little hiss, and so what I do is I actually have this all wet, so you won't hear my my dry signal go through this. So let's listen. This is my straight signal, and this is my typical FX500. You might hear a little bit of modulation happening there, and some reverb and delay, and that's it. And together with the dry signal, mono, it sounds like this. It's just a bit too loud now, but I like to have it there just enough so it adds some depth and dimension to the sound, and that modulation eases up a little bit with some of, well, guitar is always a bit out of tune, so having a little bit of modulation there makes it smooth a little bit. This symphonic effect you've heard in classic 80s rock albums, and it just makes things fatter and wider. It's great, especially if you don't want to double track your guitars and so on. Also, additionally, I have another preset, so if I want more reverb, I can get it like this. It adds a little bit of this delay stereo thing, which is kind of nice, especially in the mix when you have a whole live band playing and you get stereo mix in your headphones. Having a little bit of stereo delay adds, it just makes one guitar sound bigger and wider. So it's a nice little effect. And that's a delay that I never touch the timing. It's just, it's always that same delay setting. So with a one channel amplifier, I like to get the clean and crunch sounds. I experimented with pedals a little bit, and for the clean, I like to always have just a little bit of compressor, and I use this forest green compressor. It just, I don't know, adds a little bit of extra to the playing and tone. It has a, I'm using it with parallel compression, so the original dry gets a parallel compressed signal that I can raise up and as much as I want. I have just a little bit of that compressed signal coming to the signal. I have a little bit of treble boost as well, and it's kind of easy compression. I like that. I've liked it for several years now. And for the crunch channel, I'm using Frog Attack, which is in real life that's called Simble Overdrive, and it's also from Mad Professor, and it just sounds really good together with this amplifier. The crunch sound is really good on its own, but that's not always enough when you want to play leads and more. You want more exploding tone. And one of the things that I almost all the time have on is a pedal called Sensei. I made a video about this 1 year ago. This does a lot of things, but most important, this has a knob called Zen. And what that does is it adjusts the way your pickups work. By going to this direction, you get more sensitive pickups. They act more like modern high output pickups. When I go to this direction, taking off, the volume knob becomes very sensitive, and the dynamics are very different. I like to have a little bit of this on, and it just sounds great. And yeah, some settings over there, but in general, this pedal adds more edge and more sensitivity to my tone. When we were doing the stream show, afterwards I watched some of that, and I saw all the comments from the audience in the YouTube stream, and somebody was commenting there, wondering about my clean tone, and wondering if I was mixing some DI signal from the guitar to the clean tone. It's a very very crispy sound, but I think it's largely because of the Sensei and how that works together with the amp and everything. This amp here itself is a very strong, and it creates a super good platform for clean and everything up to high gain. It's basically the clean channel of the Black Spirit 200 amplifier, which I really have fallen in love with. But anyway, the Sensei is really good with clean tones. It just But this doesn't end the possibilities of the gain stages. First of all, when I'm in Overdrive preset, which with the ES5 I trigger the frog attack here and it sets off the compressor. So if I press this the second time, I get a tube screamer on, and that creates depending of course on the settings, but it gives that extra tightness and a little bit of extra gain and boost to the signal. It's great for more metal kind of riffs, but also for some of the leads. But there's also another preset where instead of having the cymbal and tube screamer, I have wait a second, I have tube screamer and forest green. Well, and then there's still one more, which is kind of interesting. I have instead of using the Simble Overdrive, I'm using Tube Screamer and Forest Green Compressor together to get a different type of overdrive distortion. Yeah, well, this is the Simble Overdrive. And this is Tube Screamer and Forest Green Compressor together. It cuts some of the low end, and also it's slightly more, yeah, screaming. Again, I had my Sensei on, which I typically have. Let's take that off. Yeah, let's keep that on. After Sensei, the second pedal that is always in the signal chain, I have the Freqout, which is the pedal that simulates feedback kind of thing. And it doesn't give you eternal sustain or anything, but it gives you everything that it can squeeze out of your signal that you're creating with your guitar. So as long as you're sustaining something, it can create some of that feedback sound. Anyway, that's a great pedal. I really love that. And then the signal goes to ES5, which is the switching system, and it has all these effects in loop. And here I have set myself presets, and main presets are have a clean with a lot of ambient reverb. And when I'm here, I have a lot of things happening. Well, I have this FX500 going to a stereo effect sounding like this. I also have the Boss Reverb. And then I have this dual delay from the DD500. And if that is not enough, I still have Canyon, which is a Terra Echo. And that's about it for the clean. Obviously here I have the Forest Green Compressor, and if I press this preset the second time, it turns this red light on, and that means the tube screamer turns on. Preset number 2 is also clean, but this time this is more like a delay based. So I have and I can add another delay on top of that, and that creates that dotted 8 note. And the expression pedal here works as a volume. It might affect some other stuff as well, but it mainly gives me more feedback time and more volume for the delays. When I go to preset 3, the delays stay exactly the same, but this time instead of having the compressor, I have the Simble Overdrive. That means I have the overdrive channel. And if I want to play rhythm guitar, I just might take that off. And if I feel there's too much delay, I might just, put that. If there's still too much, I take all this off. And if there's still too much, that's because of this FX500, and I need to adjust the volume of that effect. But anyway, that's it for that. And here, yeah, the preset number 4, that's the version where I have Tube Screamer and the compressor doing the... That gives me slightly different type of structure for the tone. And these are the basic presets that I have. In addition, if I want a flanger, I have it here, and if I want a looper, I press this. and I can take it off, and this button does something that I can't remember what it does, but it's another controller thing as well. In addition, DD500 does a lot of special effects and have another bank for weird stuff like reverse, delay. And it does chorus pretty well. And all kind of weird. Yeah, this one is my favorite. This is my rig. It'll be updated at some point again, but now it's documented for you, and hopefully this was inspiring. And it's really many times a great idea, a good idea if you want a dynamic tone and really responsive, great sound, that you don't have one amplifier or one pedal that does all the gain. Sometimes you want to have several stages of gain together, stacked, and that'll give you the best sound. Experiment what you have, and maybe you find something new by putting them all in different orders and on top of each other. And that's one of the greatest thing about ES5 is you can actually change the order of these loops, these pedals in these presets, which is kind of, it's super handy and really useful. Thanks for watching. Leave me any questions. I try to answer. Wax on.